Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Well, the question is asked about California Prop 22, and I wanted to break it down for you. The Guardian put out an article. Guardian, hit and miss over there, but this kind of breaks it down. How California voters could upend the gig economy. Voters in the state will decide whether Uber, Lyft, and other companies should classify gig workers as employees, right? A protest by Uber and Lyft drivers against California Proposition 22 on Wednesday. What is Proposition 22? It's a ballot measure that would exempt gig companies from AB 5, a landmark labor law passed in 2019 that extended employee protections to gig workers. In other words, Prop 22 would allow these companies not to treat gig workers like employees. I've talked about this before. These mega companies, Uber and Lyft, and I know Lyft is a little better than Uber, but they're still companies worth billions of dollars. And rather than the CEOs getting big paydays and all that stuff, these employees should be given employee benefits. I know people that drive for these Uber and Lyft, and I'm sure many of you do yourselves. If not, you know somebody, and it's tough work, man. And you're maybe getting $12 an hour after gas and everything else. And these company stock portfolios are going through the roof. Take care of your employees. But the official name of the ballot measure, and this is how they get tricky, Protect App-Based Drivers and Services Act. The measure, if passed by a majority of voters on 3 November, would apply to app-based drivers, including those who work for Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash. AB 5 sets out specific requirements for workers to be classified as contractors, they are free from the company's control. They are doing work that isn't central to the company's business, and they have an independent business in that industry. That's AB 5. That's the one that's requiring these companies. And of course, these big companies never want to pay real salary. What? If the worker does not meet all three of the standards, they will be classified as an employee and thus entitled to legal protections and benefits that come with employment in California. This includes minimum wage, overtime, expenses reimbursed, which would be fuel costs. That's the main thing they don't want to pay. Paid sick days, all these things that unions fought for like 100 years ago. Weird. Uber and Lyft maintain that drivers are properly classified as independent contractors, but in August, a California court ruled that both companies were violating AB 5 in not classifying drivers as employees. The ruling appears to be stayed while Uber and Lyft argue the case. Drivers and labor groups oppose Prop 22, saying it allows companies to sidestep their obligations. Weird that big companies would want to do that. They're usually so in favor of the labor that gives them profits. It's weird that they would want to extract it. Capitalism is usually so great for the worker, right? Am I wrong? Am I just reading this for the first time? The companies behind Prop 22 have made billions on the contractor-based business model. While Lyft went public, it was valued at $22 billion. And has 1.9 million drivers working through its app. Uber was valued at $82 billion ahead of its initial public offering on May and has 3.9 million drivers. And many people drive for both. So who benefits? What benefits does Prop 22 offer? While Prop would exempt workers from employee benefits gleaned through AB 5, proponents of the ballot measure maintain that it would ensure driver flexibility. Oh, they use the same language. It's the same language. We need to deregulation hurts business. You heard Mike Pence saying that at the VP debates, right? That's a big Republican talking point. Regulation hurts business. We need to deregulate. That's good for business. It's good for, no, deregulation is good for the CEOs. It's good for the 1%. It's never good for the working class. It's never good for regular people. So they use the same language. We want these drivers to be flexible, man. You don't want to be tied down to working for one company that gives you a livable wage and health benefits and sick days and pays for your gas. Well, you don't want to be tied down to that. You want to work for all these different companies and work 70 hours a week and barely able to pay your bills and be exhausted. That's the flexibility we're promising you. while providing new earning guarantees and benefits. What do those mean? Sounds like advocates of Prop 22 say it would provide drivers with occupational accident insurance to cover injuries and illnesses on the job and funding for new health benefits. Funding for new health benefits. That sounds, when you hear like health insurance marketplace, oh, we still have to pay for it. Shouldn't I just get free health insurance if I drive full time for one of these companies? That means drivers who work at least 15 hours would be provided with stipends towards private health insurance. Rather than be provided health insurance through an employer healthcare options, workers who drive more than 25 hours would get higher stipend towards a stipend. Prop 22 also promises guaranteed minimum earnings. Again, if we had free healthcare, if we had Medicare for all, it would relieve a burden from these companies, just in general. Prop 22 also promises guaranteed minimum earnings equal of 120% of California minimum wage. Right? A study funded by the Yes on Prop 22 coalition. All right. Who supports it? A coalition of gig economy firms. Oh, well, then I'm against it. If big billionaire companies are for it, I'm against it. That's how you know. If you're ever like these propositions, these ballot measures or whatever they're called in your state, look who's against it or for it. If there's a good thing, it sounds good, and then big companies are against it, that's when you know it's good. Like Jeff Bezos spent $1.5 million to try to defeat Kshama Sawant. That's like, oh, that's the reason alone to vote for her. Oh, they have spent more than $184 million on campaigns promoting Prop 22. The Yes on Prop 22 campaigns claim the majority of rideshare drivers support flexibility in work. A number of workers outside the ride-hailing platforms have also spoken out against AB 5 and its effects. The bill was amended after freelance journalists complained of a measure in the bill that would prevent them from submitting more than 35 stories per year. California Chamber of Commerce. Who's against Prop 22? A number of workers and workers groups have publicly organized against Prop 22. The official No on Prop 22 coalition is made up of 4 driver groups. Gig Workers Rising, We Drive Progress, Mobile Workers United, and Rideshare Drivers United. Cumulatively, these groups represent more than 55,000 workers in California. Editorial boards on the LA Times, the New York Times, and a number of California papers, including the Sacramento Bee and a bunch of other bees, have called on voters to reject Prop 22. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have also spoken against it. Ooh, that makes me nervous. Bernie Sanders has condemned the ballot measure, tweeting, "I'm opposed to Prop 22 because people working full-time deserve decent." Well, that's a reason to like it. The Service Employees International Union also joined against the union. So if a union said it, all of these drivers, 55,000 of these gig workers have said we're not, and they've formed coalitions, which is what you need to do. You got to unionize, man. I said it time and time again. You got to unionize. The Philadelphia Museum of Art unionized. Anyone can. If it doesn't pass, companies will not be exempt from AB 5 and drivers will then be entitled to health care. So that's the thing. They basically AB 5 passed and they said, whoa, this is going to cost us a lot of money. So we said, we'll write this ridiculous Prop 22 and put language in it that sounds like we're giving you freedom, right? You deserve free. It's the argument against Medicare for all. It's the same language. Don't you want to be able to choose your own health care? Don't want the government to tell you what health care to have. That's not what Medicare for all is. Medicare for all just is how it's priced. You can go to whatever doctor you want, and the government comes in and says, no, the price, we're going to lower the price. That's why the healthcare companies don't want it. So these big billion-dollar app companies don't want to pay for your health insurance if you work for them. That's what this is. That's what it boils down to. They put a lot of flowery language in there. Give you freedom to be who you want. No, bitch, I want goddamn health insurance. I want a livable wage. Don't give me this nonsense. So, AB 5 was going to cost them money, so they wrote Prop 22 to fight it. So if you vote against, if you live in California, vote against Prop 22, then AB 5 can be in place, and they're going to have to pay gig workers healthcare, minimum wage, and other employee benefits. Not a stipend to help offset the big. No, you get health insurance. I bet you the people, the high level, the executives and shit like that, I bet you they get health insurance. Why can't the drivers, the people that generate all the revenue, the driver I don't care how fancy your app is and how many computer people you got in the office creating an app, that's great. If you don't have drivers, guess what? You don't have a company. Nobody wants to drive for Lyft or Uber or DoorDash. Great. Your technology means nothing. So this is how much power you have as a driver. Get what you want. Don't take table scraps. Get exactly what you want. So that is my stance on Prop 22. Vote against it if you live in the state of California. Thanks for supporting the show. Like, share, subscribe, watch the ads all the way through. When you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Getting throttled on YouTube. We're stuck at 73,000. We should be closer to 100,000. Let's get to 75,000. They unsubscribing people, make sure you subscribe. Support us on rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, blockchain cryptocurrency platform, patreon.com/Graham Elwood. I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet that are all in the show notes. And also, if you sign up for Coinbase, which is a crypto trading platform, you can link it to your bank account, convert it back to cash, pay for bills, whatever. If you sign up for $100 using my affiliate code that's in the show notes below, you get $10 of Bitcoin. I get $10 of Bitcoin. Come on now. Boom, boom, boom. So that $100 investment actually becomes a $110 investment immediately. I'm on Venmo. I got a PayPal button. A lot of ways to support what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Shave your knuckles for justice.